Hi everyone, welcome to this live stream. I'm just going to wait for people to join in. Hi Mitzi, nice to see you. And I'm really excited today for this live showing off some of my favorite Altenew supplies and just giving you a heads up on what should be on your list, your shopping list, basically, when you shop during the Black Friday sale. Hi, Karen. Hi, Jill. Welcome, everybody, as you're coming in. Good to see everybody here. So, I am going to quickly switch my view to the desk, and we have the lovely Mitzi here who's going to be helping me with just moderating, responding to comments, sharing links, and everything. Hi, Sue. Good to see you. So let me just quickly switch. So there we go. That's a look at my desk. And I have pulled out an assortment of supplies just to play with for today's live. Hi, Pam. Happy to see you here. Now, first things first, today is an amazing flash sale, and with a minimum purchase, you get this folding cutting mat for free. And I use this a lot simply because it is handy. I can fold it, I can travel with it. And everyone who's been following me for a while now, attending my classes, know how frequently I need to shift between two cities. And this is my trusted friend. I absolutely love this mat because of the fact that I can fold and carry it. Hi, Aram. So, that being said, I am going to be playing with the delicate magnolia layering die today. I love that it's a nice small die and has the beautiful keyhole system that makes layering simple and easy thanks to Altenew. I pulled out this dotted pattern stencil, and this is an older set, lovely rose peony. I wanted to just use this, especially the flower vase for my card today. So that was something I had in mind. And I just, like I said, picked things from my stash. So not something very new, just an assortment of things. Mitzi Sue has a question. I think I saw that on the fan group too, so I hope you can take care of that. I am going to just set this aside. And the flash sale that I was talking about for today is on the 9 by 12 crafty mat. And that's mine, well loved pink sticky mat. And I think this is another favorite of mine, a crafty tool. I would like to put this in the category of tools simply because I think it's very hard to ink blend, use layered stencil these days without this mat, and I absolutely love the size of it. So I am going to just assemble my die cut pieces here, like lay them out on my crafty mat. So I have petal 1, I have petal 2, I have petal 3, and then I have these tiny pieces that add a little bit of an extra depth on the petals. Let me quickly show that to you right there. Hi, Nuneka. So good to see you. And then we have the flower centerpieces. So I'm just going to lay that out, and I've die cut these 3 times. So I have 3 sets right here, die cut and ready to ink blend. So I'm just going to lay them out on this lovely sticky mat so that I don't have to worry about anything moving, shaking while I ink blend. So that's the second one, and then on to my third one. So that's petal 1, petal 2, and petal 3 onto my flower centers. That right there. Now, when it comes to inks, you all know how much I love color, and I have always spoken about this set, the Amy Tan ink set. I absolutely love the colors in this set, and I feel like this is one set. So I think it's a combination of summer, sunrise, ocean dreams, and together it's called the Summer Dreams, if I'm correct. But this is my go to set to carry when I'm traveling, again, because it has all the colors that I need, and I can just throw in, say, I pulled out the Green Meadows Fresh Dye ink, another set of greens that pairs very well with this. And I don't necessarily then need anything else particularly. So I'm going to use this today and show you um, how I ink blend. Now, again, the fresh dye inks are on sale, the re-inkers as well. So I think it's a perfect time to get your hands on these inks. So I'm going to start with Tickle Pink, and then my next favorite, absolutely favorite tool, the blending brushes. So I use the mini blending brushes a lot for all my ink blending. I also, in my classes, let me quickly just show you, use the detail blending brush set, which comes with 3 different sizes of angled blending brushes. Now I have mine mixed up because I tend to use them with color. So we have a size 7, we have a size 5, and then we have a size 10. And these are all angled. And I love these to add details. So we use this a lot in my classes. Pam and Karen are here, so they can vouch for that. Detail blending brush is used a lot with the mini blending brush. And I'll first get to ink blending and show you the other blending brushes that Altenew has. And I think it was on sale a few days ago, but then it's just a crafty tool, so watch out, is all I'm saying. So I'm going to start with Tickle Pink and ink blend on my petals with this brush. And how I like to do is start from the center with a deeper intensity of the color and making it lighter as I go to the tips. But today I'm going to mix 2 colors. So I am going to make sure to cover my entire petal with tickled pink here in this case. Still making sure that the tips are a little lighter. And I'm going to do that for all the petals. Now you could vary, you could make one petal darker than the other. For the purpose of creating today, I'm just keeping it simple and using blends of colors and making the petals same. I'm not even sure if we'll be using all the 3, but I'd like to just have 3 flowers handy when I get to really putting everything together. So you see how bright that tickle pink is. Absolutely love that deep pink tone. And that's one thing about this set, the Amy Tan set. They are vibrant, very intense, and I love the colors that they come with. Okay, I see Mitzi is helping Sue with the free shipping, and I would really appreciate it if. Hi, Carrie. Thank you for joining in. Yes, I'm glad the pumpkin pies are out and you are joining for the live. And I was just going to say that I would really appreciate it if you all could share about this live, maybe on your Instagram or Facebook, so more people know about it. Just let people know to join in. This was a very last minute thing, so I didn't have enough time to market and advertise it, but I did my best. I've posted everywhere, and I'm just happy to see everybody who's joining us. So, on to the next set of the petals. I am again just doing the same thing. So, you see, it's darker in the center, lighter on the tips, and I'm going to do this for all of these petals of the delicate magnolia. I mean, Altenew has so many magnolia sets in the layered dyes, in the Builder Garden set, recently a Craft Your Life kit. And I think they're all so different from one another. It really amazes me. And they're all beautiful and pretty, of course. Flowers for the win, right? Thank you so much, Sue. Thank you for sharing. So, what is everybody up to? Is anybody crafting today? What, let me know. What are you up to? What are you getting into? I know most of your day has just begun, so I would love to hear what you all are up to, and if you have any crafty plans, or do you just have plans with family for the weekend, the coming weekend? What are you doing basically? While I just continue ink blending my petals. Oh, nice, Carrie. That's really nice. I'm sure definitely it is a big day. I agree, Pam. That would be so lovely. Um, you could get, yeah, you could get a magnolia fragrance and spray on them, and then there you go. You would have your own fragrance to these layered flowers as well. Ah, thank you, Carrie. I so appreciate that. Thank you so much. Oh, Karen, you are getting ready too. That is good. Everybody is getting ready to host Thanksgiving. And are you all ready for the sales? Have you already shopped from the pre Black Friday sales? It's just a good time to stock up on essentials, tools and essentials especially. Um, I think there are some really great deals. Karen and Pam did. Yes, I am pretty sure Karen and Pam did too. I'm waiting for them to tell us what they've bought so far. Oh, the sweater embossing folder, Carrie. I absolutely love that. And yes, I saw there is a great deal on the stencil, so you've got it right. Shopping. That is good. Black Friday is incomplete without shopping, right? So, of course. So that is one layer. Now I'm going to add the same tickled pink here on these delicate pieces that go on top. I just need to make sure the direction is right. Hi Tracy, I'm so glad you were able to join us. Fam- the tweezers and the perfect picker. Yes, so tweezers is on my list of must have crafty tools as well. Definitely. I'm going to do a roundup, let you guys know my must have tools. So I've spoken about the folding mat, I've spoken about this amazing 9 by 12 sticky mat, which is available for only $20 today. It is a great deal. And then for my coloring mediums, we spoke about the fresh dye inks. And I am moving on to lemonade stand to color in the flower centers. And I'm going to color in both these pieces, right? The one with the arrow and the one that covers on top of it. And then I am going to bring out Tangerine Dream. Oh, that is nice. I am glad. Yes, I agree. It is really lovely that they have the replacement tips for the perfect picker, and you can just replace the tips when the wax kind of wears out. Now, what I'm doing is I'm adding Tangerine Dream, but mostly to the center of the flower, leaving the tips pink. And this itself, just the blend of these two colors, is going to create some beautiful shading here. And that's all I need for my petals. So, again, that particular set, the Amy Tan Fresh Dye ink set, I think is a must have ink set because it just has all the colors and it's amazing, especially when you're traveling for on the go crafting. I am just laughing with what's going on in the chat. So Aram knows that probably Karen is getting doubles of some things. That is interesting. So just a little touch of that tangerine dream, and you can see how it lifts and adds detail to our petals. I just absolutely love the color mix, the blend of this. On to my last flower petals here. If you are somebody who hasn't really tried the layered flower sets, I highly recommend getting these smaller sets where you can start experimenting with them and then dive into the bigger ones. Of course, I love all the craft of flower sets, but just to kind of play around, I think these are nice. There's a cute open rose like this, the mountain, a mountain something at the top of my head, what I remember. So now I had my tweezers right here. Oh, yeah, they're right here. So, my next favorite tool after the blending brushes, the tweezers, because they absolutely make it easy to pick the pieces, to lay them out, and assemble the flower. So I am just getting rid of that arrow right in the center of my keyhole. I agree, Carrie, right? They are a really nice size. And it's something you can use. You can just die cut multiples and use them for a beautiful arrangement. There was that mini sunflower too, and I used it to create a wreath, I remember. So they are really nice size. You can also just add these to smaller gift tags. I think that's another fun way of using them. And then on to bragging about that fabulous keyhole system. We have the arrow with the number written. So this is petal 1. And I'm just going to apply glue around my keyhole. That's if the glue decides to come out today. Right there. And lay out piece 2, which perfectly aligns with that arrow. And right there, just lays on top of one another. No guesswork. Simple, easy to create these layered blooms. So a little more glue on 2. Yes, nice pointed tips on the tweezer, always helpful. And I add 3 right there on 2. And then I'm going to add the flower center, the one with the arrow first to match it up. And then the one that closes it. So barely took time to put this together. And right there you go. And then I just have these 2 tiny layers. I'm going to first dry fit these. One layer comes here. So I'm just going to apply a little glue at the edge of the petal. And you see how easy it is to just pick that with my tweezers and glue that down in place. And then I have this piece that goes right here. So I'm going to quickly dry fit that. I like how that looks. Add glue on the edge. Oh, that is so sweet, Tracy. That sounds like an adorable project. And that's our bloom. So you see, quick ink blending with 2 colors or 3, and follow the keyhole system, and we have it all layered. So I'm just going to use my fingers and push on these petals to curve it up a bit, just so that it looks a little more dimensional. Always like doing that. And that's about it. That bloom is ready. So in the same way, I am going to put all of these together, and it does not take too long, like I said, because of that fabulous keyhole system and the size of the die. So this is something I would really recommend. Say one day you just die cut layers together, and then one day ink blend. You can also, I earlier saw Mitzi posted a link to the crafty necessity cardstock bundle. Thank you, Pam. I am glad you were able to join in, and I will see you soon. Maybe another live in December. I hope your appointment goes well, and happy shopping this weekend. So, just adding that. Oh, yes, just the white with a touch of blue, just the white with a touch of yellow. All of those look good. That's why I like how versatile this die set is when it comes to creating the flowers. So, again, curling them up, giving it a little dimension. I was mentioning about the colored cardstock. So you could also just die cut multiples using the colored cardstock and put them together, and you would have a lovely bloom. So something like this, just throwing out different ideas, especially for those who like to plan your holiday cards. Ideas like these, I think, really help making the process easier, where one day all you've done is die cut the layers, another day ink blended, or if you're using the colored cardstock, then you just put them together, and then one day you can just work on the backgrounds, and then you can just put everything together. I think that really helps when you have to make multiple cards for the holiday season. So adding my last flower center here and covering it up. Oh, that is a good count, Tracy. Just 20 more. So my blooms are ready, and I am going to give my mat a little touch of cleaning just to get rid of that pink. Now it's tickled pink that has made my mat pink, by the way. So you see how well loved this mat is. And for now, I'm going to put this aside, and quickly, like I was telling you, I just want to show you the other sizes of the blending brushes. So we have the micro blending brushes, which come in a size 10 and size 7. Now these aren't angled, and these are lovely, especially when you're using stencils to reach smaller areas. They come in a set of 4 or individually as well. And my absolute other favorite that I want to show you are the small blending brushes, especially for background. So I have them stored in the, I don't know, Mitzi would know. I can't remember what this box is called, but it is an Altenew box, and I love it because it holds my small blending brushes, and I then have one for each color to ink blend backgrounds. So I'm just going to set that aside for now. I am going to bring out my other favorite tool, which is the stamp wheel. Today I'm just using the regular stamp wheel, but I wanted to show you the stamp wheel 2.0 as well, because this is bigger and it comes with one side that can be opened, so you can fit in a larger paper, and this is really great for stamping multiple images, reads, other bigger projects. So I just saw on Altenew's Instagram account they had posted about a great deal with this coming out soon. So I think just watch out for that. Yes, the entire set, the bundle, even the large. I don't have the large brushes handy, but that entire ultimate bundle that you're talking about, Carrie, that is really amazing. And it helps collecting that variety of the set using your blending brushes for various purposes. So I have a small piece of cardstock stuck to my sticky mat in the stamp wheel. Now I don't use this sticky mat for ink blending. That's why it's relatively clean. And under this, I have placed the slim grip, that mat right there in white color, because then through the sticky mat, it helps me see the grid and line up my panels, especially when I need to do sentiment stamping or a wreath for that matter. So for today, I am only going to first use the lovely rose peony set and stamp the flower vase from the set. Right here. And I'm going to use obsidian ink for this. Obsidian ink is my favorite black ink for anything really. I use this with all coloring mediums. Of course, um, you know, it's good to let it dry well or use clear embossing powder over it. But I don't have that time always. So let's see today what happens. Especially because I'm going to pull out my artist markers as well. And they are on a great deal too. So, like I said, if you want to stock up on your tools or your coloring mediums, I would highly recommend you do it now with these fabulous deals. I'm going to set this aside for now. Put back my stamp before I lose it on my table somewhere. And I am not using the coordinated die for this. I am going to be die cutting this out. And it's not dried like I mentioned, but I'm still going to go ahead and color it with my artist marker. So I am using the Sunshine Valley Garden set. And I am going to be using the yellows. So I'm just going to pull out the yellows. I already have the pink on my flowers right here. And I am going to color in. I know it will bleed, the black will spread out, but that's okay. I'm not going to be too worried about that. So I'm going to use not citrus burst, but fresh lemon first. So that's Y106. And I'll use the brush tip. And I will just color it in. So the brush tip for something like this is thick enough and it helps me just go along to add the streaks of color. And like I said, the black is going to spread, but today I'm not going to be bothered about it. I'm going to let it just add whatever touch it wants to add, simply because it hasn't dried yet. But I would highly recommend that you dry your ink before you color in. So I'm using fresh lemon and alternating with the fresh lemon. And then I'm going to move to the maple yellow. So I'm using one single color family for the flowers and I'm just alternating and adding color. So again, with the artist markers, there are bundles available on sale today. If you've been wanting to get some marker sets, and yes, I absolutely love that sweater set as well. The embossing folder, I mean, it is so realistic and the texture is just stunning. I'm going to use the darkest color honey drizzle and add that just at the bottom as a little shading on the vase along the stripes, on all the stripes basically, just to make my bottom of the vase darker. So it adds some shading right there, and I'm just adding flicks for this and letting it just blend into that previous color. So I'm just going to extend it a little more here in the center part, and that's it. And then right here inside as well, just add the darker color, and that's it. So thank you so much. So it's as simple as that with the markers. Simple blending. I can go back in with my fresh lemon and blend it out a little bit more right here, and that works. So that done, let's pull out my next favorite tool, which we all absolutely need, precision scissors, which is going to really be handy in fussy cutting this out, simply because I've I'm not using the coordinated die today, but it does come with the coordinated die, and that gives a nice white outline. Now I know not everybody is a huge fan of that, so this one is pretty easy to fussy cut, so I thought why not put the lovely scissors to use as well. Now, one thing I love about these scissors, when I cut my foam tape, it doesn't stick onto the blades, and that is such a big bonus because I have spoiled scissors earlier before using this one, just with getting my blade sticky. Now, of course, I used to use rubbing alcohol to clean it and everything, but you know the mess that I'm talking about. Yes. I hope you enjoy the actual pie making as much as you did using that Sweet Harvest set, Tracy. So watch out over the weekend. What I wanted to tell you was, for these amazing stamps, layered stencils like the Build a Garden and stuff like that, just you probably, a lot will be going on sale. These older sets that you've wanted to get and weren't able to get, I think it's going to be a fabulous opportunity. And I am going to now use my fine liner brush tip Altenew pen and add a black edging to cover up any of those white details of the paper, because I fussy cut. I am going to make that a bolder black outline just with this. Hi Jasmine, so good to see you. Working and watching, that is good. I am just sharing my must haves, talking about my favorite tools and supplies from Altenew, and just letting everybody know to get ready to fill your shopping carts because the Black Friday deals are going to be really amazing. So the black pen, there you go, adds a perfect detail. None of the white is seen anymore. And I have my vase ready. I have my blooms ready. I've shown you some of the tools already. Now I'm going to actually move to my card base, and let's see. I am going to use an A2 size card panel. So I have a white A2 size card panel. I am going to place that right there in my stamp wheel. And what I want to do is first dry fit my elements. So just see how I'd like to place it, the flowers and the vase, where exactly I want it to go. And I think that arrangement really works well. And what I have in mind is to use the floral stamp as well from this set. And I am just going to place it over all of this. So you'll see what I'm doing in a second. I just want to make sure that it looks like a nice full bouquet, and I have leaves peeking out. So I'm going to place it right over all of this. I am then going to use my flip plate and lift up the stamp. So I have my stamp in place. I can then just remove all of these elements, and I will then stamp this cluster with black ink on the background. So I am using this just to pair it up with those dimensional flowers in the background. So I'm going to stamp that again. Since everything is in place, I don't really have to worry about shifting. And I will go back in and stamp it again. Now, just a little bit more here. So I am going to go in again, give it nice pressure, stamp this entire outline image in the background, and that pairs very well. It's just going to be something that's an accent in the background. So you see layers. I love working in layers. That's the thing. So I have that down in place. I can put the stamp back, and I will actually go ahead and stamp the sentiment too while I'm at it. So bringing my it definitely does. It just enhances it, and it's that perfect background. I'm telling you, sometimes you don't need too much. Now let's see what sentiment. Uh, Sending you, celebrating you today and always. I'm just going to see if that fits, or if not that, I can then just say, now, because I'm not using the die set, right? I want this to be all in the base layer and just have these elements as my focal. So hello dear friend, that's something that I can stamp right here underneath. So I'm going to do that and just place it there. Get my flip plate out and stamp that with obsidian ink as well. Right there, that is done. So stamp wheel is a very, very handy tool. Both of them. Recently, somebody asked me what I would recommend, like if I would recommend one over the other. Now, when you have both of them, you feel like you need both of them. There is uh, no two ways about it. So until you have both, you can make do with one. But then, when you have both, you feel like, yeah, I need this for this and that for that. So that's what I have so far. Let's just place the vase and see how that looks. Just going back again, adding my flowers, and just look at that. So I'm going to place the flowers so you can see why I stamped that in the background. I don't even have to add too much color. Like, I don't have to really add any color to that background stamp. It just adds a perfect touch in the background, giving me those leaves. So I'm not going to add any color to that, but I will just glue this entire layer together. Now, again, my must-haves, all the sizes of instant dimension foam tape. You see how small my rolls have become? That's as much as I use them, right? All of them. So these are my must-haves. Because I love dimension. I absolutely love dimension. And I had, oh, this is going to be a nice challenge. So I had this dotted pattern stencil. I'm going to just pull that out. And what I am going to do, let's see, I have an idea. So I know where this is coming for now. I am going to bring out my sticky mat, place my card panel. Or dimension is life. Honestly, I don't know what I would do without the dimension foam tape. Place my dotted pattern stencil. And I love this. It's an abstract stencil. I'm going to use my micro blending brush number 10. And I already have ink left over. So this is with fresh lemon and stuff. I am going to use that and just around the cluster randomly ink blend to add a little detail to my background. It's very light, but it's a little detail that again adds texture, even though this entire thing is a one layer card, except of course when we add dimension tape. But we could skip that if you really want to just see this as a one layer card. I have not picked up any ink. It's what's left over on my brush, and it's just a very light delicate detail. I will lift it up, I'll zoom in and show it to you. Just give me a second. I'm going to add a little more here and there, and that's about it. It's a tiny detail right there that gives that illusion of something has been added on a background, which I absolutely love. So now I'm going to use the regular dimension foam tape, the scissors, cut a strip, add it to my vase right in the center, a little smaller piece on top. And what I like to do is just curve it towards the edges, so it just gives it a nice rounder, fuller look right there. And I will then glue this down. So I will add that right here. And now this part of it is coming on the vase, so I'm going to just cut a little bit, add it to one side of the flower, and use a little glue and just glue that down there. And this gets tucked in. So again, so I'm just using the regular instant dimension foam tape. I haven't used that extra one, simply because, like I said, I want to show how you can use flat layers and still create something as stunning as this. So I am going to tuck the foam tape underneath, add a little liquid glue, and adhere that right there. And then same way, a little piece of the foam tape for the flower that's going to come here. And I can then just tuck the petals in, and there you go. So that is a look at that. Now I am going to complete it, of course, with splatter. And I love the metallic watercolor pan set. I am going to add gold splatter to this card for that shine and glow. So this is the enchanted gold. And I am going to just complete this card off with this metallic splatter, which you will see how it adds so much more to these flowers right here. Gold, because the colors that I've used, pink, orange, yellow, right now give this card a nice warm tone, a nice warm vibe. So I think the gold splatter is going to be perfect for this one. So that's it. I think that card is complete. Hi, Carol. I will lift it off my sticky mat, place it right here, and quickly take you through my favorites. So, of course, the folding cutting mat, that's one. The 9x12 sticky mat, that's my favorite tool. The blending brushes, all of them, the mini blending brushes, the micro blending brushes, the detail blending brushes, the small blending brushes, and then the storage box for the small blending brushes. Let me quickly show it to you. That's the one right there. Tweezers, scissors, let's not forget that. Also, somebody was talking about getting refills. I think the Black Friday sales are great for stocking up on adhesives, be it your foam tapes, be it the ultra sticky tapes, the tape runners. I think it's just amazing for that. Then, of course, we spoke about the stamp wheel and stamp wheel 2.0. As far as my coloring mediums, I showed you how I love using the artist markers. I use the Sunshine Valley set. I love the fresh dye inks. I use the Amy Tan inks. And when it comes, and then of course the metallic watercolor pen set. Now, two other things that I really wanted to show you in today's live, because these are my must haves, especially because, like I was mentioning, I have to travel a lot. So the storage pouches. Now, this one, of course, for the print, absolutely love this, and it perfectly holds, like, say, I need to teach a class. Use this to hold all the supplies, and I know this is my class project. And then the zip pouches. I love these. Now, this one has my basic tools. I have one for my watercolors, like all things watercoloring. I use these to hold some sets, like projects I'm working on, current projects I'm working on, to hold die cut elements. So I absolutely love these pouches as well. And yeah, these were the two things that I absolutely wanted to share with you. So, with that, yes, very handy. This is the card that we created today. So I've used the stamp, a die, and a stencil, all the three things on this one card. So that just goes on to saying how you can really mix and match all your supplies to create something stunning. We've used fresh dye inks. I've also used the markers and shown a variety of the coloring mediums with that metallic touch. Thank you so much, Mitzi, for moderating, sharing all the links. I am truly grateful. Let me quickly just change the view back right here. So yeah, thank you for all the help. Thank you everybody for joining in. Thank you, Erim, too. And thank you so much, everybody, for joining in. Happy Thanksgiving and enjoy your Black Friday shopping. And yes, thank you to those who use my affiliate link. It comes at no extra cost to you, but it just helps me earn a commission. I am absolutely grateful for all of you who use my affiliate link. So thank you so much. And I will see you soon on another live, or we'll meet soon for a class. Until then, stay safe, have a great weekend with your family, and bye bye.